I just, while you were speaking, Susanna, I kind of pictured the vignettes at the beginning as little stepping stones toward the rest of the book. They really do, even though they're so short and sort of impressionistic, they do lay down a lot of the groundwork for the rest of the book. They create a mood, they put you in a certain headspace. And yeah, I think that's all I was going to say.
Actually, I was going to ask you to tell us a bit more about your translation process. I mean, not just of this book, but also in general, and how it changed with the time.
Very much. My translation process might change with every book I do. I feel like I'm getting slower with time rather than faster, which is unfortunate for my pocket. But I don't even remember what process I used. I was terribly young and inexperienced, and I do remember printing out the translation several times and red penning it and sharing bits with friends and getting opinions. Now I still mostly start from the beginning. I haven't changed in that respect. One thing that I've adopted is this sort of spiral method of translation where I'll translate a few thousand words. Depending on the book, they might be 2,000 or 4,000, and then stop. And then the next day I start by editing those words before translating more. I always print out my translation and go at it with a red pen because I find it extremely difficult to read clearly on screens, and something about having the paper in my hands makes it easier to see errors. I have a few little quirks where I change the font size and also change the font all the time to create a kind of alienation, because at some point you've been working with a text for so long that you can't see clearly. You get tunnel vision or snow blindness, I also call it. I read aloud when I can. I do at least 3 or 4 drafts, and if they let me, I would do more. I do workshops with other translators to bounce around ideas. I find that your co-translators and colleagues are such a wealth of knowledge. I think that's it. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. Read aloud. Did I say read aloud? I tend to read aloud as well. Sometimes I torture my partner and make him sit with me while I read an entire novel at him and tell him to let me know if anything sounds wrong. It's a miracle he's still with me.